The end. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs in. What is that I hear? You want to hear another story? But it's school night. Okay, okay. I'm such a pusher. What kind of tale do you want to hear? Could it be maybe a comedy? Could be a romance? What about a fairy tale? A fairy tale for tanks. Oh, a field of dreams, faced by white pickets. Yes. Oh, a story of a man and a woman we all want to be. We all hope to be. Oh, is that not what you want? Too bad. That's what I want to tell.
Oh, hello.
Once upon a time, there was a young woman, beautiful as a day in June. A young man stood by her side, smart as a whip and handsome as a pole horse. They met in high school, and they fell in love in a merry day of May.
Hey, what are we doing here right now?
Before long, the young man dropped to his knee, pulled a diamond out of his pocket, and won the young woman's hand in marriage.
Excuse us, Mr. Interstellar?
Hey.
Um, moving right along, with the blessings of their compatible.
Mr. Storyteller.
Excuse me a moment. Yes? What is it?
We didn't exactly meet in the high school.
Yes, you did. It says right here that you did.
We meet in a bar.
And she experimented for 5 years with foreigners, while we were on and off for 5 years.
How nice. Well, for our purposes, let's say you met in high school, shall we? So, with the blessings of their compatible families, the young man and young woman were to be bride and groom.
Wait a minute. As I recall, you keep it breaking it off.
What?
Yeah, then you want me back. The minute I had a new boyfriend.
You certainly didn't waste time running into the arms of the first guy who had an accent.
Shh. Let's not argue in front of the impressionable youngsters. The bride soon set in on the wedding preparation.
I never realized that you were a racist.
Ah, I'm not. I was fine with the fact that you slept with black men.
You're assuming that racism automatically refers to African Americans? Isn't that a form of racism itself?
Excuse me, ma'am, sir, shut your mouth so I can return to the story. Thank you.
By all means, don't let anything seem like you or our issues get in your way. Okay?
Look, will you play along? The children will have ample opportunity to be disillusioned later. Let's just have a nice bedtime story, okay? Okay. As I was saying, the preparations, they were to be married in a beautiful church,
Drive-through chapel in Vegas.
followed by an elegant restoration in an old inn in Vermont.
Back room in the Stardust Lounge.
The bride put Martha Stewart to shame as she had the whole evening designed to the last detail.
That really sounds like you, to be honest.
From the linen napkins to the centerpieces of purple Frisian and Italian roses.
I think he was invited to someone else's wedding.
And why is he assuming the bride always had the taste? Did it never occur to anyone that the groom might want to participate? At all? I mean, I worked my way I wore my way through law school as a floor designer. That's how I know Frisia is all wrong for a centerpiece, except maybe as an accent flower.
You were a floral designer?
You need to base your arrangement on more substantial bloom, like a lily or an orchid.
Brad, is there something you want to tell me?
Actually, there is something I want to tell these youngsters so they can get to bed at a decent hour. This story.
Well,
So, they had a flawless reception for 300 guests at a turn of the century in Vermont.
you know, we are not from Vermont. We have never been even to Vermont.
At which all had a delightful time.
Hey, what do you mean? Is there something I want to tell you?
Immediately following the splendid reception,
I mean, is there something you haven't been honest with me about? With yourself about?
Like what?
the bride, at the tender age of 24,
she's she, she's not even 24.
now just wait a minute here, Buster Brown. Whose story is this?
Ours.
Hours.
Wrong. This is a fairy tale. I'm going for prototypes.
But I'm 35.
In this story, you're 24. The average American woman gets married at 24.
How old that makes him?
Well, 27. Well, how old is he really?
I'm the one that is 24.
Isn't that a little young to be getting married?
How come 34 it's okay for me, but not for him?
You're the woman. You're supposed to be younger.
Jesus.
Now, before I was interrupted, for the umpteenth time, boys and girls, I was saying that after the reception, the 24-year-old bride was whisked away in a horse-led carriage by her 27-year-old husband.
Whisk away. Where?
Well, I don't know, to the airport.
Which one?
The airport of Vermont.
There is one in Burlington, and there is another in Montpelier.
How did you know that?
I majored in geography.
You did?
So, Mr. Fancy Pants, which one was it?
The one where you got your flight to Hawaii for your honeymoon?
This whole fairy tale is completely out of hand. Anyone know that there's no flights to Vermont, to Hawaii? You have to fly to Logan or Lax or boat, and anyway, I didn't think that they would let the horses in the terminal.
Oh, for God's sakes. What's the big deal with telling a nice story to the children? Come on.
No one's life turned on like that. How many of those kids will love with the version of the history? No one. You can't. It's too much pressure. It's like why Catholic women are so messed up. You can be a virgin and be a mother. And Brad, I probably shouldn't have married with you to begin with.
China. How can you say that?
You are probably gay.
What? That's what you thought. I needed to be honest about.
You didn't even know I majored in geography. Listen, if we are talking average here, most people don't get married in Vermont. They get married in their one-horse hometowns that have Walmarts and bad zoning.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's my point. Most people don't get married in their hometowns. Most people cheat on their spouse or end in their clothing and sell everything they own to get a lousy nursing home. Put that in your fairy tale and smoke it.
No one's smoking anything. There are children present.
And God forbid, we're going to tell them what life is really like.
She's got a point there. You are opening yourself up for a multiple class action suits, Mister.
Fine, I've had it. You want the truth? The whole truth and nothing but the truth? You want the whole enchilada? You want the proverbial hook, line, and sinker? Wow! Far be it from me to give this little soul something to which aspire to.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm warning you. It won't be pretty.
We stand warned.
Okay, we stand warned.
I'm such a pusher. Once upon a time, in a trailer park not so far away, there lived a woman approaching middle age who drank a lot of bourbon, smoked a pack a day, hung out in places where they throw peanut shells on the floor,
All right, already.
and a young, slightly effeminate man who took it up the ass once from a fellow Eagle Scout. But since it only happened once when he was 17 and drunk in Kalua, he still considers himself straight.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Don't do that. Hey.
The woman and the man met in a bar one night where they got drunk and slept together afterwards at her place. Since the one felt guilty about the one night stand, she was needed to make a legitimate relationship out of the encounter to justify the sex, even though she really prefers black men. To stay deep in the dark closet, the man proposed to the woman, and since she's 35 and let's face it, not getting any younger, she accepted his pathetic offer because it was a real ego boost to have snagged a hot stud 11 years younger than her, even if he does have the occasional problem getting a stiffy with her because he's really gay. Although the man offered to plan the entire wedding with his best friend Steve, the woman insisted they had a horse-drawn carriage to drop them off at the airport every month, from which they took 6 connecting flights to Las Vegas to get married by an Elvis impersonator. To celebrate, they showed up at the Stardust Lounge, at which they bought at all the bar patrons cheeseballs and Budweiser. When they arrived back home in Weehawken, New Jersey, the groom, unable to suppress his inner self for a moment longer, took up with a drag queen from Soho, and the bride, realizing she'd never be a mother, consoled herself with vodka and Xanax, and died of a somewhat accidental overdose 3 years later. The groom, now 27, took up wearing cowboy hats and chaps, and made the unfortunate mistake of traveling to Wyoming on business where he was dragged to his death behind a 4x4 by a bunch of homophobic rednecks. The drag queen wrote a show about the 3 of them in which he played all the parts, won a Genius Rat, and landed his own television on New York City cable access. Well, I bid you good night and sweet dreams, children. The end.
Mr. Storyteller, wait. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Mr. Storyteller. It's okay. It's okay. You can tell the story. You can tell the other story you want. There's no problem with that, Storyteller.
Mr. Storyteller, it's okay. You can you can tell the other story.
You can tell the other version. You can. I told you. You can tell the other version. If there's any problem, please tell the other version.